So this is going to be a little upgrade video of the 2018 Husqvarna FE 501. We're going to replace this exhaust with this one. So first things first, you want to take off the side cover. I've already done that. That's going to expose everything we're going to need to get to in order to get this can off. First, what you're going to want to do is disconnect this exhaust spring. You can either use a long screwdriver and try to pry it out, or you can try to use pliers to just unhook it. And it might be a little difficult. They make tools for this, but we don't have them. So you disconnect that. That's going to allow you to separate this can from the header. We're going to reuse the stock header, so leave that be. In order to undo these bolts here, you have a choice. You can either use the 8mm socket, or you can use a Torx 30. I've got the 8mm already on here, so we'll just use that. If you want to be quicker, you can use one of these. So here's a little tip to get the old can off. Spray this joint with some penetrating lubricant and you're going to rotate it towards you this way. So these tabs here come out. That way when you pull backwards, they don't get hooked on the body plastic. And it slides right off. Since we sprayed lubricant here on the header, we want to spray it down with a brake cleaner before we install the new can. Just spray a rag and then give it a quick wipe down. So in order to install this properly, we have to take out these little rubber bushings and these aluminum, cases. So you can take a screwdriver or some pliers and pull these out. And then pop the rubber out. There's two. So now we're done with this. And reinstall the rubber here. So if you're going to reuse the stock header, you've got to use this adapter here provided by FMF. And this just slides over like that. But in order to do that, you want to put some high-temp silicone sealant around here so no air can blow by. And if you look at this, there's a little ridge. That ridge goes towards the front of the bike. So when you put that on, be sure to put it with the ridge facing that way. This is machined pretty well, the collar, but we're just going to put a thin layer of sealant around here. And now we take that collar with the ridge facing forward. And we get that on there, just like that. You can wipe off the excess. So the exhaust pipe is going to wrap over the top of this collar. It's going to slide on this way. So we want to put a little bit more of this high temp sealant here just to prevent any air from escaping. So we're going to reinstall this the same way we took off the old one. We want to make sure these ears here don't get hung up on the plastic bodywork or the subframe. So we're going to put it at an angle, slide it onto the collar, and twist it up. Got those holes lined up. We're going to reuse the hardware. Slide those in. Get them started with your fingers. Move them along with the gun. And then torque them down. And lastly, you want to install the retention spring. You got a hook down on the bottom side here, and you pull it back and attach it to the header, hopefully. that's in place. So I live in a tiny little village, and to not upset the neighbors, I've loaded the motorcycle onto the back of the van, and we're going to the dirt bike track. And that way we can make as much noise as we want, not worry about upsetting anybody. Make a little noise. One thing to note when you start doing new exhaust and intake and stuff like that, your bike's going to run a lot leaner. So I'm getting some flame outs and stalling when I come on the throttle hard. With the new ECU from Vortex or something similar, you can enrich in the mixture and prevent some of those flame outs. So there you have it. That's the FMF 4.1 slip-on exhaust on a 2018 Husqvarna FE 501. I hope you enjoyed.